What is going on, everyone? Train Freak here. Name's Jason. Uh, Sitting here at the tracks. Yesterday, we did not have a single train come through, and I actually found out why afterwards. That was pretty interesting. Um, but before I get to that, I'd like to see if anyone pops in. Right now, we have no one here, and I'm looking. And right now, I don't have any signals, or there's no headlight off in the distance that is indicating that a train is coming our direction. But it looks like we do finally have someone popping in. Haven't said anything in the chat yet, so we should see who it is. Oh, it's Tammy and Ray. I am having a great day. How is your day going? I know y'all have been busy on working on layouts and whatnot over there. So I'm sure y'all are having an amazing day because y'all get to work on trains. I'll actually get that opportunity tomorrow because we are closed for Juneteenth holiday, so June 19th. And I'll be at home working on probably not my stuff, but customer stuff while the wife is still at work. She has to go in. She doesn't get off. And then my kiddo is at camp this week, so I got the house to myself tomorrow. So can't beat that. Um, Plumber, what is up, buddy? So yesterday we didn't have a single train come through, and there's days that I'll sit out here for an hour and I don't see a single train. And then there's days like last Friday where it's just like rush hour or rush traffic or whatever you call it. And more or less yesterday, there was a train that did come through right before I got down here, before I got live, and about 15 miles along the railroad tracks north of me, um, well, 10 miles north of me, there's a town called Beebe, Arkansas. And someone reported that there was a tank car that was smoking. Well, they got the train stopped. Come to find out, one of the, I think maybe a pressure relief valve on that tank car failed, and it was exposing nitric acid out. So yesterday, you remember we saw the fire department come in, and I flipped the camera around. I don't remember exact timestamp of when that happened, but he was walking up and down the tracks, and that was because he was looking to see if there was nitric acid on the tracks. So yeah, they evacuated the town of Beebe when they stopped halfway between Beebe and McCurdy, which is the town north of them. They had to evacuate like half a mile. Everybody that lived within a half a mile. State highway that runs right beside the tracks was shut down. It was pretty serious. It was no derail. So, trackside Mike, what is going on? And Plumber Steven says that he has found a pop-up camper. That's pretty cool. That means you can come out and see me. I'll tell you, if you have a camper, it's a whole lot cheaper than hotels. That I know. So lunchtime railfanning. Is today Tammy's birthday? If it is, I'm not singing, but I will say happy birthday. Uh, yeah, I'm not going to sing. Sorry. Hey, Scott, Waycross Train Spotter, welcome. Right now, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I'm telling you, We went to Chama, New Mexico last year, and I spent more on fuel than I did on the cost of camping for like 8 nights. And I have one of the premier sites at our campground, which is right up against the Rio Chama, or that's Spanish for Chama River. So, yeah, hotels are insane. Even Airbnbs are insane for us. Model Railer is undercover today. Happy birthday, Tammy. Okay, I gotta highlight that. That's funny. So there's a reason why I played drums in high school and college and my whole church for a reason. So Thomas Moore, how's it going? So today, for lunch I've got me some Chick-fil-A. I got me a 30-piece grilled nugget, and Lynn McCurdy, who I heard yelling "Hey Jason" as he stuck his head out of the plane on his way back home yesterday. What's going on, Lynn? And Nathan DeLay's here. Welcome. I can't promise you a train every day, but I mean, there's days I only see one. There's days I see two. Every once in a blue moon, I'll see three. And when I was on Steve Childers, ended up missing a heritage unit because there was a train that went south. Okay, so well, that way is south. Well, let's go that way. That way is south. That way is north. And there was another train that was right behind him, and so I never saw the green signal, and it was a flashing yellow. And sometimes dispatchers forget to turn the signals off. So that's why I didn't think a train was coming. But right now, oh yeah, both signals are dark, which means nothing's headed south, and I do not see a headlight off in the distance. So do I work at a no? I work for a library, so I am a government employee. So I get tomorrow off due to it being a holiday. So tomorrow, if I go live, I will be live in the train room and not the track. So, but yeah, Lynn, he flew right over me. He flew from Memphis, Tennessee, all the way over. I guess you're in the LA area, LA, San Diego, I can't remember. Southern California. That would be pretty cool. If you're talking about that video you sent me, Lynn, yeah, that would be pretty cool. So, so I'm actually angled right in front of the tracks for those who were not live with me yesterday. So I'll turn the camera around, and I apologize if it is shaking because I am using a new mount. So that is my vantage point. Looks like I might need to adjust my camera on the mount. Let's go with that. There we go. Hey, Dwight Curley, welcome. Ray Bertelson, welcome. So I am sitting facing, so the tracks run north and south through here, kind of northeast, southwest, more or less. And it is a double bidirectional main, so you can have trains going either direction on either track. And right now we don't have any trains coming through the area that I can see. But the reason why I look kind of behind me out of my rear passenger window is because the tracks are straight for like 6 miles, and then it does a slight curve um, once it gets into town. So if they did not curve the tracks would actually run right behind me. So I have a pretty good vantage point to see a headlight in the distance, and it's so far that the headlight and the ditch lights all look like one light. Until they get about a mile away, then it starts separating, especially if the light's over the gap. But about the point to where the lights would separate is also where there's two signals, one on each side of the track that is southbound facing. Actually, no. We got some rain yesterday, and I'm assuming that 104 is that that's not fair. Is that Fahrenheit? Is it 104 in Canada right now? Holy smokes! It's only 85 degrees here. Cooked 2 eggs on the road this morning. Wow, that's. I don't know if I want to taste the asphalt, part of it. But yeah, that's pretty insane. Manny Fernandez, what's going on, buddy? So, Plumber, I heard a little birdie told me that you might be going live later this week. Yeah, we got rain. It was kind of spotted showers yesterday. It's pretty overcast right now, as you can see. Which I mean that doesn't stop trains. Dry as a bone, and it's been pretty dry here. Well, it's been very wet, and then we've hit a small dry spell. And I know the temperatures are supposed to crank back up later in the week. So, all right. Well, since no train is coming, I'll flip the camera back around, and y'all can watch me eat my lunch. There we go. Well, Nathan, if you cook a couple of eggs on asphalt, I would think you would taste asphalt in the eggs. That's if you was to eat them. Yeah, 110 degrees. That's hot. That is real hot. So, Mike, I don't know what it's like to have a basement because they don't build basements down here. And that's because of the frost points are not low enough to warrant a basement. Is hanging out in the basement in that type of heat, is that like maybe the coolest part of your house that's in the ground? I'm just curious. Now, with all the tornadoes and stuff, you would think maybe they should consider putting basements in the houses down here, but that would actually drive the price of the houses. So, hi, hi. I always love saying hi, hi. I just like it. That's awesome. All right. Oh, you put the frying. Oh, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well do cast iron. Because let me tell you, eggs in cast iron can't be. Where I live, it's 91 degrees. So y'all have that heat wave. Like I said, we got a little bit of rain yesterday, and it kind of cooled us down a little. So, so yeah, my house. It's a lot of houses. They will either do what they call pure and beam. That's where you have like a crawl space underneath, or they do slabs. Rarely do you ever see a house in my part of the state that has basements. Now you go up like in the northwest, in the Ozarks and the Ouachita Mountain areas, which I know they're not like Appalachia, they're not like the Sierra Nevadas or the Rockies. I get it. Because our highest peak's like only 2,000 feet in the air, so I get it. But the people that build houses on the side of the mountains will actually put a basement somewhat in the ground. But it would be like, say, if your house is on the hill, right? The hill slopes down, so your backyard sits lower than your front yard. So your front door might be the top level, and then you could go downstairs in the basement and have a door on the back side of the house that walks out the backyard. I've seen houses like that. Flying crow, Robert. The crow that doesn't fly very straight. He flies in a zigzag. Who will be flying up here in a couple of months. And I have good news. I see a headlight. And I see one of the signals has turned red, which indicates me we have a train coming. So we're going to have more action today than we did yesterday. Now, Robert, you got to also tell him that when you fly, one of your wings is shorter than the other wing, and it causes you to, corkscrew the whole time you're flying. So, Robert does barrel rolls all the time. So when the train gets closer, I will flip the camera back around because it's probably going to take him about 5-10 minutes, depending on how fast he's going, to get up here. Oh, Chris is here. Tennessee River Union. Yes. What's going on, Chris? All right. Get another bite of my grilled chicken nuggets. But anyway, no. Hopefully, if nothing happens like last year, where Robert had some unexpected things come up, and it happens. I get it. Robert might be able to come up he's going to plan on coming up the last weekend of August, which is the same weekend that the Central Arkansas Train Show will be held in Conway, Arkansas. Oh no, I didn't cook it. I did not cook it. There you go. This live stream is not sponsored by Chick-fil-A, but their grilled nuggets are pretty dang good. So, Jim Heath, how's it going? I hope to hear from you later today. I know you sent me an email this morning. How many trains run on that line a day? That's a good question. So, where I'm at, you could call it a double line. Because I'm in a stretch between North Little Rock, Arkansas and Bald Knob, Arkansas. And this is part of the Union Pacific Hoxie subdivision. But at Bald Knob, it splits. So it's double lane or double track with like 4 or 5 crossovers from North Little Rock to Bald Knob. And there, when it splits, it's single track. One goes up to Poplar Bluff, Missouri, which continues the Hoxie subdivision. And then the other track is the Memphis subdivision, which ironically goes over to Memphis, Tennessee. So, yeah. So there you have it. He's still about a couple of minutes out. He's coming. So, oh, that's bad, Ray. That's bad. Well, I guess what you would have to do, Ray, is instead of going the opposite direction where you would trip, you just walk on the other side of the hill when you would trip. So, Jason, the place that the hockey station was that named after a hockey thing? Not sure what you're asking, maybe I missed. All right, have a good dinner, buddy, and we will see you next time. All right, so now it's getting to the point to where his lights are starting to separate. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the camera repositioned. This is so much easier. There we go. And y'all get to watch the train go away from the train. So the train will come from your right side. This might be an innermost. Can't really tell. I mean, he's booking. Okay. Now we got the crossing gates starting to go down. Or this could be auto racks. What I can tell is it's excessive height. And I'll crack a window for it. So you get mixed freight. There you go. All right. Let me get the camera swapped back around. All right. So, do you have to sign paperwork to promise the government not to tell the deepest secrets where you worked during the Vietnam War? I'm not that old, Nate. So where I work for a county library. I do the information technology there. We don't have secrets. We are pretty much for the public. So I am assuming. All right, signals are dark, so that means nothing's coming. So I'm assuming those T boxes. There was a few GATX boxcars that were released to BKTY. I'm assuming those were probably carrying automobile parts. Um, Most of the time, when I see the BKTY cars, especially the 50 footers, which are the old per diem cars, but they're starting to scrap those. They normally carry beer, and the reason why I know those were not carrying beer is because a lot of the beer that comes from Mexico, they have a lot of theft. And so what the railroad does is instead of just putting a lock at the bottom of the sliding doors, they have a second lock up high. So they could try to break the first lock, but if you don't bring like a 16-foot ladder with you to open those doors, so Stephen, thankfully not where I'm at. I have a part-time guy that works under me, and he has to deal with that stuff. So I stay in the back and I work on the servers. So, and we don't have that many crazies. We live on the outskirts of Little Rock, so like Central Arkansas Library System, they get all of those people. Not saying we've never had them, but I don't get them very often. But that was pretty cool to see Robert's, Flying Crow's favorite locomotive on the front. He's going to kill me. For those who don't know, Robert is a big fan of the Canadian Pacific. Hey, Ken Amos, welcome. See what I mean? Nathan, no, I am not going to have any Jeep 30s on my layout. It is too modern for the era that I run. Oh, well, there you go. So my career, I started in a computer repair shop, and then eventually I bought that. That company was not doing very well. They were fixing to fold. And the computer repair shop, they did other things too. So it wasn't just computer repairs. That was just one part. I actually ended up buying that department out from them and was in my own business for like 3 years. I got tired of it. Being a business owner is not what it's cracked up to be. I'll tell you that right now. Because you don't know when you're getting paid. A lot of the jobs you go and do for these companies, especially when you do government work and contract work, you don't get paid right away. Like they send you a check in the mail. That's how a lot of that stuff works. And so you didn't know when you was getting paid, and it just made life a little bit tougher at one point. Um, it is somewhat easier on your taxes, but not necessarily. So I ended up closing up my shop, and a week later started working for the company that I work for now. And September will be 12 years. So mainframe, you mean server? Mainframe, that's like an old 1980s, 1990s terminology. So, um, oh, correct the code. Yeah, Nathan, I don't do anything like that. So, Stephen, is your mainframe, is that more like racks of servers, like multiple servers acting as one server, like stack the servers? So, Ken, I retired November after 24 years of business, and payday was the last thing you get to think about. But on your mind today, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you can't get this. Oh, dang, y'all are still using IBM? Holy crap. I went over a little bit of that in school, but not a lot. I don't envy you at all. Not at all. I work with either Dell or HP servers depending on what we're doing. I'm a Windows database administrator. Well, not really database. I guess you would say like Active Directory, group policy, DHCP, DNS. You know, they say about making the big bucks come with big responsibilities. Scott, it does. Because I have the 130-foot Walder's turntable in a 6-bay roundhouse that is in storage. Yeah, Stephen, I don't envy you at all. Some people say they don't envy me because, like, where I work at, I have 4 locations, but all 4 of my locations are in different cities, and the closest city to where my office is located is about 20 miles away. So I work for a county system, and so it's not like I can drive across town, to go fix a problem. There's some of my locations, it's an hour drive one way. So, Martin, how's it going? Glad to see you're in here as well. Well, Scott, a Y can also take up a lot of room. Now, I will tell you this, depending on what you're doing, there are still turntables in use today that have no roundhouse. And a prime example of that is the North Little Rock rail yard, North Little Rock, Arkansas, over by their engine refueling facilities. I'm not talking about the Jinx shop where they actually do repairs on engines for locomotives. They have a turntable that literally has a track that goes through it, and it's literally just for if they need to turn a locomotive 180 degrees and, build up a consist of locomotives. Just a hostage. There is no stub tracks connected to it at all. Ah, well, all I deal with, Steven, is Windows. I don't deal with Novell. I think Walmart still uses Novell for their stuff, but well, I might have some more good news for you. I got another train coming. The last train was on track 2. Track 1 is closest to me, and now we have a train same direction that's going to be going northbound on track 1. Windows as a computer, Nathan. Darby Rails. Yippee! Welcome, Darby. So what's for lunch today? All right, so I'm going to say it again. This stream is not brought to you by Chick-fil-A. I wanted some chicken. Robert, I believe you. I absolutely believe that you're using a stone tablet, but I don't believe you're using a chisel. I believe you're using another rock to try to make your chisel. That's what I. Alright, Scott, run through trains as piggyback and coal trains and empty coal trains come from staging to main line back. Okay, there you go. So I'm making Darby hungry. Now I need smell-o-vision. Man, it smells pretty good. All it is a 30-piece grilled chicken nugget. I am one of those that I will buy a big lunch and not eat it all and save the rest of it either as an afternoon snack or dinner. And then I'm only having to buy one meal to last me. I mean, it comes out about the same. I mean, this combo was like $30. So I'm not going to be able to eat all $30 worth of this chicken and large fries and a large drink in one meal. I can't do it. But they did load me up on the Chick-fil-A sauce. So, well, hopefully he gets here pretty soon because I got to go back. Hot Dog Andy Pilot, welcome. Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, welcome. Sometimes I will get a burger, but not from those places, Nathan. I will get from a Sonic. I mean, I do have a Wendy's, McDonald's, and a Burger King, but it's the opposite way. Russ, we finally got our Chick-fil-A last year. So, well, guys, the thing about a roundhouse is roundhouses were not for turning locomotives. They were for storing locomotives and doing maintenance on steam locomotives. That is the purpose of your roundhouse. The turntable is what would turn your locomotives. And I will tell you this, a Y takes up more room than a turntable. So, but you don't have to have a roundhouse attached to a turntable. It just made it convenient. Yeah, he's coming. I'm getting a little bit of a sprinkle right now, too. We do have a Popeyes, but I'm not a fan of our Popeyes. Their service is crap. The one here in my town. We have KSC. Will not eat there at all. We have a Zaxby's, which is not bad. We got a Slim Chickens. I like Slims. But the problem is where I work. I work 10 blocks away from the railroad tracks. The only restaurants I have between me and the tracks is Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut. I've got an Asian bistro that sometimes I'll order food from them and then go pick it up on the way. Sonic and Little Caesars. No, I don't plan on having a McDonald's on the layout, but that's not saying that I'm ruling that out. I might not. No, I do not have a Bojangles. I wish we did because I love Bojangles. Angry with Domino's. Yeah, I do. I like Domino's pizza. We have one, but it's like I said, it's on the other end of town for the most part. What I like about Bojangles is, and it's been a while since I've ate at one, Steven, so I can't remember if it's rolls or biscuits, but you get honey with it, and they taste really good. It's like a honey butter. Is what they used on it. We used to have a Bojangles in Little Rock years ago, but they I guess they went out of business. Not sure why. All right, so we got one coming. The crossing gates are going down. I'm gonna crack the window and let y'all get a little bit of sound with this one, and then after this train passes, I will have to let you go. This one might be a pumpkin, and it looks like a mixed freight. And it is a pumpkin. So y'all have seen Union Pacific, Canadian Pacific. Now you get some BNSF in the mix. All right. Get that back on me. There we go. How about that? I got you 2 trains today. Can't beat that. All right, guys. So I hate to do this, but I got to get back to work. Otherwise, I'm going to get in trouble by the boss. And we don't need that. And now I got to deal with traffic because the train came at the very end. So, yo, Mystic, you coming in at the last minute. So go catch the beginning. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all joining me. I'll try to do this more often. If this is something you like, I put up a poll for all of y'all to see in my community tab on my YouTube channel page. Go take a look there and vote on that poll and tell me if you would rather me do live streams on my lunch break or if you just rather me not do live streams and actually just record the trains as they come through and then put it back up for y'all to see, okay? So, Flying Crow says, see y'all tonight. So I'm assuming he is doing On Track Tuesday tonight. So go check Flying Crow out on Track Tuesdays. Yep, no more trains. All right. Other than that, y'all be safe out there, and I will see y'all next time. Happy railroading.